So are you guys ready for an amazing comedian? Let's go. All the noise. We're making all the noise. For Heather May!
Give it up for your host, Janice, who already got the first elephant out of the room. Let's talk about the second. Some people refer to me as promiscuous. You look surprised, to be honest. So I'll make it more clear. Some people even call me a slut. And to be honest, some people are right. It's 2023, my body, my choice, and I have chosen to fuck a lot. I took one of those love language quizzes and found out that my love language is touch, but not because I don't want to hold hands and snuggle all night. Just want my partner to rub my clit for a bit, then roll back over to his side of the bed. Better yet, his house. Gotta be careful with that shit, though. I messed around during this global pandemic and ended up in quarantine with my partner. And I'm from Indiana, and Indiana law indicates that common law marriage during global pandemic starts in exactly 2 years into the pandemic, just in time for the homeowners moratorium to end. So now I'm just married. Now, honestly, being considered a slut, it's rather relative. Like, by technicality, like standard definition Webster's, I am probably a slut. Thank you. There are some things that even I'm not down to do. I'm gonna tell you the stuff I do first. I have had sex with more than one guy in the same night. Potentially without showering in between. Maybe on more than one occasion. But I have never had sex with two dudes at the same time. The first time I told that joke, I heard an audible ew in the crowd. And I gotta tell you, you might be the coolest crowd I've ever had. There was not a single one. But in my defense, one of the guys was my boyfriend. The other guy was my other boyfriend. Most people think that's a joke about me cheating. It's really just a joke about an open relationship. Everybody's doing it now. But mine started because one of us cheated. Let you guess which one it was. Now, I don't want to brag, but I have had multiple threesomes and sexual encounters with some pretty hot women. Straight white dudes. Sorry. Refer to this as female privilege. It must be really tough on them. I'm gonna pick on you guys because you're in the front and you look a little privileged. They're higher paying careers, voting power, I don't know if this part's true, assumed entitlement to the female body. But I ain't shitting on all straight white guys because I definitely have a type, broken. There's some people who can relate. Emotionally unavailable, or more recently, over-available, with mommy issue tendencies. Yeah. Naturally, you've heard so far, you're probably assuming that I am just horny all the time. And you'd be mostly right. I am so horny that all of my toys are just as broken as the men that I previously, wink, liked to date. But I am also super busy. So I just have a nightstand filled with the Land of Misfit dildos. Some of you got it. The last Laugh Factory crowd I was at, not a single one. It was disappointing. I was doing one of those virtual writers workshops during the pandemic, and one of our assignments was to write about an embarrassing sexual experience. But we were supposed to first write it as dirty as we wanted, and then rewrite it for a PG-13 audience. I tried as hard as I could, but I just could not figure out a way to make eating ass appropriate for 13-year-olds. I can tell you about the first time me and my ex got down. It was pretty hot. I was dressed as a sexy school teacher. He was dressed as a nerdy schoolboy, which, I mean, is pretty kinky for a first time. Even on Halloween, I think that's pretty kinky. It was going great until the sweet smell of dog shit came over us. Yeah, I know. Oh, thank you. I looked over and my bulldog had managed to smear dog shit all over the comforter. I was mortified, convinced it couldn't get any worse, until my partner leaned in and whispered in my ear, "I think you have some on your leg." Dog shit, y'all. Dog shit all over my thigh. It should have been over, but I ain't no quitter. I tossed that comforter in the wash, took a shower, and took that sweet boy to Pound Town. Nope. Okay, pun intended, pun intended. I could probably produce an entire album of just moments where my bulldog embarrassed me when I had gentlemen suitors over. But eventually I just learned to lock her out. Dog licks one butt cheek, and suddenly you are not allowed in the bedroom anymore. It was not a foolproof plan, I am here to tell you. One such occasion, about 10 minutes in, start hearing this loud banging. So I climb off my partner to survey the scene, as one does. Find my bulldog has managed to lock herself into the bathroom. And when I open the door, I see that she has managed to lodge the trash can completely on her head. She's just fucking whipping it back and forth. Obviously, my first instinct was to laugh my ass off. Secondly, it was to usher her in to show my partner. And it was about that time that I realized that the trash can was filled with tampons from the house guests that I had had over 2 weeks before. And that shit was everywhere. I am so thankful for you, ma'am. She really gets it. It turns out that bulldogs with tampon strings hanging from their mouths are real boner killers. Because before I knew it, I was left to my own devices. Not working devices, you should get the picture. At this point in the set, it is probably real hard to sell you all on the fact that I am a fully functional adult homeowner with 2 very successful careers. There's way more laughter from that side, the comics that I just met. Thank you. But it is possible for a woman to be both trashy and classy. I tend to blame it on my roots. You know, the childhood ones, I think they're calling that trauma now. Not these gray hairs that need to be dyed. Friend of mine, a comic also, actually wrote a song about it called Crashy. And that term immediately resonated with me. For example, I have a lot of lower back tattoos, but they all just say inspirational phrases. Be the change. My tops, as you can see, are almost always low cut, but I usually pair them with a very nice blazer. And I do tend to date a lot of sober guys. But mostly because they still have to blow into that tube, you know, to get their car to start. And there was the one guy with the ankle monitor. I'm gonna tell you what, I will never forget him. Ooh. But as you heard earlier, I'm much more of a family woman now. So my neighbors are talking to me. And I found out that this punk 13-year-old kid is going around saying that I wear too much makeup and my eyelashes are too long. It's cool. Good to know I haven't grossly misjudged my target demographic. But I'm super petty, so I'm gonna have to bang his dad and tear his family apart now. I was really hoping you were gonna be my Karen, but she's laughing her ass off. That's just a joke. His dad is ugly as hell. But I am gonna bang his mom. Honestly, it's just disappointing that this kid is getting these messages already. They just pick up on these toxic traits so early, and I'm just tired of it. We have this new group of young comics who love to talk about women with their fake eyelashes and their penciled-in eyebrows. And, you know, it's the same idiots that ain't got shit to say about fake chi-chis that are defying gravity. And I'm tired of it. If you are trying to come on these perfectly man-made chi-chis, but you have a problem with these cumbrellas that are literally defying gravity, I'm sorry. The light distracted me. These cumbrellas that were literally invented, you need to hear this, as protective eye equipment for all y'all's weak-ass aim. Then I don't know, maybe go fuck yourself. Let me just tell one more bit. I'm over time, but I gotta get the one good one in. The last time I asked a nice gentleman to come on my breasts, he shot straight from my belly button into my eye socket and ruined my best mink lashes. But honestly, it was impressive as far as distance goes. I would have just expected much better aim from an actual Air Force pilot. It's been my time. Thank you, everyone.
She's not a slut, she's Heather May. Let's go. Sluts are cool. That's not slut shaming. Make some more noise for Heather and her